during the setup to the war, or the kind of the march towards the war, Krishna is kind of being an ambassador between the two and trying to
Yes,
work a peace plan
he's
out.
one of the negotiators. Yes.
And there's a beautiful scene where both the Arjuna and his opponent are
Yeah.
asking or come to ask Krishna's help. And tell us about that scene.
Yeah. So once the negotiations have now failed, okay. So now both sides are trying to get help from the various kingdoms around. One of that is Krishna's. Yeah. So Krishna is not the king, so to say, but he's a very powerful person in what is called the Dwarka, the Yadav Dwarka. Yeah. So they both go to him to get his support. Now Krishna is sleeping at that time. So we are told that he's sleeping in his chambers, and both Duryodhana and Arjun pretty much come. So first Duryodhana goes in and he sits by the head where Krishna is. He sits by the head of Krishna, and Arjun comes and sits by his feet. So when Krishna wakes up, he first sees Arjun and then he sees Duryodhana, and then they both say, they tell him why they have come.
Right.
So Krishna says, I'll help you both. Okay. One on one side, it's me. It's me, but I will not fight the war. I will only be the charioteer of whoever of you chooses me. Yeah. On the other side is my Sena, it's my army. It is called the Narayani Sena, which is supposed to be very, very strong and skilled. So he says, on the other side is my army. You guys have to choose. Now, who will be the first person to choose is the question. So Krishna says Arjun is younger, and I saw Arjun first. Yeah. So let Arjun choose. Now Duryodhana is like, oh my God, God knows what Arjun is going to choose. Because in his head, it was the choice had already been made. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Arjun chooses Krishna, and Duryodhana heaves a sigh of relief. Because he anyways wanted the Sena, right? For him, the Sena, the army, like it had like every army would be like lakh plus people. So he got that army, and he was very happy. So then he's like, okay, fine, I accept the army, and he goes away. And then Krishna asks Arjun, he says, why did you choose me? Yeah, just imagine what you lost out on. Yeah, what did you trade me for? And I'm telling you again, I'm not going to fight the war. Arjun says, I don't need you to fight the war. I know my own capability. I need you to be my guide, my mentor. Because wherever you go, glory follows. I know that. I want
Yes.
that glory to rub off on me, and I want you to be that mentor and the guide who guides me through the world. And it is that one decision which has
Yes.
played such an important role in the eventual outcome of the Mahabharata war, right?
Yes.
Because Arjun and Bhim and Drishtadyumna, all of that are those are great warriors, undoubtedly. But Arjun is above everybody else, yeah. And the victory, the hope of victory with the Pandava side had hinged largely on Arjun and Bhim,
Yes.
and
And
he
it
is the
says
one.
it
Yeah,
says so much about the characters as well, right? That
absolutely,
Arjuna does not hesitate. He chooses Krishna uh, over all his armies and says,
absolutely.
"We go with Krishna, right? We follow Krishna." That is remarkable.
And then,
No,
as you know, right, you are aware of the Gita anyway. So when the war now finally is to begin, see,
yes.
there is a reason Pandavas are considered the heroes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because now they are faced with their family. Any person who has even a sense of emotion and humanity will think twice, will be disturbed to fight that war, right? And Arjun does. In fact, even Yudhishthir does, but that is before. A couple of days before, Yudhishthir is also upset. He's like, my God, how do
Yeah.
I fight my own people? And at that time, Arjun tells him that, Vidur has agreed. Our mother is saying it's the right thing to do. Krishna is saying it's the right thing to do, so don't worry. But now, when he sees his own grandfather and gurus and cousins, he's like, oh my God, what am I fighting for? For this throne. So he's now forgotten the larger principle why they're fighting for. And he's like, oh my God, what do I do with this riches and this throne, right? I'm better off dying instead of
Right.
killing my own people. And
Yeah.
at that point, Krishna gives him the Upadesha of the Gita. That's where the Bhagavad Gita happens.
Yes. So the Gita is considered like an Upanishad, essentially,
Gita
a
is
teach.
considered the essence of the Upanishads. So we are called Sarva Upanishadam Dogdva. So Krishna is called the milkman who milches all the Upanishads. And that essence of the Upanishads is the milk of Gita, which is coming to all of us because of the calf that is Arjun. Yeah,
Oh,
so he
yes.
does it for Arjun, but the milk comes to all of us because Arjun drinks a little bit and everything else comes to us. So it's
Yes.
called the essence of the Upanishad.
Incredible. Yes, and it's set up so beautifully, right? That they're having this conversation between these armies ready to clash, and they're having this deep philosophical
Yes.
conversation about the nature of reality, about the nature of the soul.